Okay, now let's look at how to access an element in the tuple. Again, we've done this before. Okay, we're formally introducing this. To access a particular element in the tuple, we use the name of the tuple and then enter the index number within square brackets. So T4 0. Okay, so the first element is T. Okay, and T4 of -1, so that will be from, so we did this in strings. Remember when we try to access string, slicing strings, we talked about the indexes 0 through, when you go from left to right, these are positive numbers, and when you go from right to left, you start with -1 and so on. So same principle here. Okay, and you can do that. Good. So slicing here is like the slicing that we did with strings. Tuples are immutable. See, we talked about that. So you cannot change an element. So if you try to change, you'll get an error. So if you say, okay, I want to change position 1, which is W, I want to put something else in there. So now tuple object does not support item assignment. It will give you an error. Okay. Now what are the operations we can do? We can add two tuples, T4 plus T5. Okay, so where did we set T5 anywhere? Now, where is T5? I don't have T5 anywhere. I guess, let's see, that T5 is supposed to be that. So we need to define T5. So go ahead and add a cell, and then let's set T5 to text 9, 6, and then see 0, 1, 2, 3. The index 3 is a list, 1, 5, and then true. Okay. So now we have T4, which is that, okay, and we have T5, which is this, and when you add T4 and T5, so it just adds the two. It goes this way. So if you put oh, it still does that. And okay, so it just adds the two together. And you can multiply a tuple with an integer. It has to be an integer. It cannot be floating point. If you multiply by an integer, then it will just repeat, however many times, like in strings. So we have T1, which is 4, 5, and the letter A, and then multiply by 3, so you get 4, 5A, 4, 5A, 4, 5A 3 times. Okay. Now we can unpacking tuple. So if you have tuple and you want to extract elements of the tuple into variable names. Okay. So you can put the tuple on the right side and have variable names on the left side. So like here, so we know that T1 has 3 elements, like the number 4, the number 5, and the letter A. So if you say A comma B comma C equal to T1, so the T1 will be unpacked, and the first element will go to A, the second, or index 0 will go to A, index equal to 1 will go to B, index equal to 2 will go to C. I don't know why you have 402. It should be 4, 5, and A. So that's the T1 is 4, 5, and A. So it gets unpacked into 4, 5, and A. Okay. Now here are some comments. If the number of scalar variables is greater than the number of elements, okay, there are only 3 elements in T1, but you give 4 variable names on the left side, so it doesn't compute. So it's going to give you an error. If the number of scalar variables is less than the number of elements, then if you use a less number of variable names, that also will give you an error, but you can avoid the error by doing a couple of things. Okay, if you use an underscore at the end, it will discard. I think you should use star and an underscore. I think. Okay, star and an underscore. If you use star, everything else you say underscore. That means I don't care about the others. I only care about the first 2. Okay, so the first 2. So now this is T4. So from T4, okay, you get, that is T4. T4 is TWO. So T and W, okay, T4 is TWO space ST. So T goes into A, W goes into B, and everything else is just discarded. Okay. But if you put star, okay, star here represents everything else. The underscore means throw away the remaining. But if you give another name here, so all the rest goes into this name. Okay. So we have T as an element. So T is A, okay, and B is W, and C is all the rest as a list.